What's up, Timbo friends? It is Coach Clarence, and I'm super excited to have you here for this 30-minute full body build. Together we row. That's right, we are working on our rows today, focusing primarily on the back in this first round. As we've been doing in this program, we're gonna have some progressive sets, meaning we'll start light, and then we'll build up to like a heavy 6 to 8 rep max, all right? Second round is a lot of fun. We're gonna get that heart rate up as we've been doing, but before any of that, wide stance to those feet, hands by your side. Big deep breath in, big exhale out. Let's start to warm up that body. And because we are going to start with some warm-up sets in our first weighted round, I want to focus on our form. So we're gonna go into a nice little hinge, okay? Starting with that good morning. So think about those feet flat underneath the hips. Hands go behind your head. I want you to think about keeping your chest open, shoulders and lats engaged. Pull the hips back as you hinge forward. Big squeeze, bring it to the top. Now, if you got it, keep going. But I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see the form. Notice here at the bottom, what's going on with my knees? They're bending. Look at my hips, pulled back. Back is flat, big squeeze, bring it all the way to the top. Good, we got 15 more seconds in this hinge. This is the form that we'll be using when we go into our bent over low row. This is where you'll be to pull those weights up. So I want you to get familiar with it. I also want you to know what muscles are being engaged while you're here. Final one. Beautiful. Now, here's what we're gonna do next. I want you to take those feet a little bit wider, reach those hands up, and we're just gonna fold over at the hips as we swan dive over, just giving ourselves a nice little forward fold. And listen, no pressure here. Feel free to bend the knees. You don't need to lock your legs out. Be sure that you're wiggling those toes. Allow your head to relax. I just want that lower back to start to feel good. We're also gonna get the legs feeling good because we will have some pushing with squats in round 2, okay? Now listen up, stay here. Again, those knees can be bent. Right hand is gonna stay on the ground. I want you to bring that left hand, twist, open it up. Try to stack your shoulders. What I mean by that is if you peek up at me real quick, you see I'm trying to get my left shoulder stacked right over my right. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Little golf swing, bring it down. We're gonna do the same thing for 5. Holding it, stacking those shoulders for 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Roll that body up nice and slow. No rush, no rush. All right, team. Whew. We're feeling good. Roll the shoulders back. Let's talk about this first round. So as I said in the intro, we're gonna be doing some progressive lifts here. All that means is we're going to start light, and then we're going to slowly add on some weights to get to a heavy lift, all right? We'll have some weight changes throughout this round, but I want you to understand you're in charge. This is your class. So if at any moment you're like, I want to adjust my weight, I want to play with my weight, or I'm stronger than I thought, or I was getting a little crazy, maybe I need to pull it back, you can always pause the screen and fix and adjust the weights as you see fit. Now, this exercise that we'll be focusing on in round 1, dumbbell bent over low row. We're gonna go through it a few times, so hopefully by that last set, you feel really good about it, you've mastered it, and you feel good about the reps you're putting out there on the mat, okay? This is our heavy round, so by the end of this round, not the beginning, I want you to make sure that you feel like, whew, I can't get another rep out. Speaking of reps, let's talk about that form. So remember that good morning we did and that hinge form that we held on to? That's where you're going to be in this row. Now, biggest thing, I don't want your shoulders hunched up by your ears. I don't want them caving forward. Think about squeezing those shoulder blades together, keeping them engaged. While you're here, elbows pull straight back. It's almost like you're trying to wrap your elbows around your rib cage, pulling the dumbbells to the bottom of your rib cage, all right? Now, grab those weights. It should feel light. We got 40 seconds right here. Just give me 10. I want you to think about pulling it up. Hold for 1 with this light weight. Release for 1, breathe. Pull, hold, release. Pull, hold, release. And again, the weight should feel light here. We are halfway through this. Hopefully you've given me about 5, maybe 6 reps. But if your weight is getting heavy and you're feeling like you need to put that weight down, we may need to adjust our weight for this second set coming up, okay? Because this is still just an activation, feeling out this exercise. 3 seconds, give me 1 more. Big squeeze, stand tall. Every time I come out of a bent over low row or any kind of hinge motion, I always want to make sure when I stand up, squeezing those glutes. The reason why, you might start to feel that pressure in the lower back, right? And that's okay, because what's happening here is everything from the waist up is suspended. It's like if you were on the top of the building, which I would never go to. Fun fact, I'm afraid of heights. But if you laid half of your body off of that building, it's gonna be really heavy because now there's nothing really like, you're counting on that building to hold that upper body up. Same thing is happening in this hinge form. So make sure that you have that core engaged, and what I mean by that is, think about like, Cutie just walked by on the beach, I'm flexing right now. Feel that core engagement, but most of all, when you come up, squeeze those glutes, allow your lower back to get some love, okay? Now again, weights should feel light, let's grab them. These are just warm-up sets. We're gonna do it one more time. 40 seconds on the clock, can you give me 10? So pull, hold, release. If you want to, feel free to work at my pace. Try not to crane your neck up too much to watch my reps, but feel free to peek at me every once in a while. Or listen, my breath should be giving you a cue on what my cadence is. Every time I exhale, those weights are down. Every time I inhale, I reset, big squeeze, and rest it out. All right, team, you're pros, you're feeling good. So let's go ahead, let's start to add on some weight. So hopefully the feeling that you had during those first 2 sets was, all right, this is cool, I'm liking it. I'm getting my breath down, not too stressed. I'm not feeling any like fatigue or feeling like this is something I can't do. What I want you to do now as you start to add on weight is, this shouldn't feel like, why does Coach Clarence hate me? Why is he doing this to me? But it should feel like, okay, I'm starting to, once I get to rep 6, 7, and 8, I'm starting to feel a little bit of tension. I'm starting to feel my lat muscles and my body be like, whew, we're up against the wall. We have to fight for those last reps, okay? Now here's the thing, the weight, it's going up. What I'm going to do for you is I'm gonna take the working time down. We did 40 seconds for those last 2 sets. These next few are going to be 30 seconds. With that working time going down, you know what I'm going to do as well. The reps are going to go down. We're going to go for 8 reps here. So I want you to think about that whole pull, hold, release, breathe. That cadence should work for you, okay? You might need to give a little less of a hold, or some of you are happy to hear, but I want you to think smooth. It should feel like a dance. Everything's working in unison. Find that pace. All right, team, let's grab those weights. Form stays the same, 30 seconds, let's go. Good, think about that hinge. And remember what we talked about. That upper body is suspended. So if you're feeling that lower back, think about flexing those abs. Engage that core. Form cues. Don't let those shoulders hunch. Also, don't let them slouch. Think about keeping those shoulder blades engaged. Last rep. And squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Stand tall. All right, now here's something I'm going to give you. We have a short rest right here. It's only 45 seconds. But if you got to rep 7 and 8 and you were like, gassed, couldn't do a single one, I want you to pause. Pause, pause, pause. I'll be here when you get back. We'll all be here. Make your weight a little bit lighter. Adjust it somehow, because we have 2 more sets. And I want you to be able to keep that form and that pace all the way through. Last little form cue that I'm going to give you. When we get into this hinge, I want you to make sure you're not down here. If you're doing this, ooh, that's a little too much. Pick it up just a little bit. I talk about the clock a lot in my classes. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock is where I need you to be. Grab those weights, face forward, find that 2 o'clock, let's rip. Now 2:30, that's fine. But if you get to 3 o'clock, again, if you're just like flat back and you're making like the number 7, I'm gonna need you to pick it up a little bit, okay? Lift that upper body a little bit. Focus on squeezing those shoulder blades. If you're working with me, we got 3 more. If you're working with me, we got 2 more. Everybody's got 1 more. Squeeze those glutes as you stand. Give that lower back some love. Whew. And go ahead. Drop the weights. Rest it up. You know what else is starting to happen? This is our final rest in round 1. Final set of rows coming up in round 1. But that heart rate is starting to get a little high, right? Without even jumping around or doing anything crazy, you've probably entered zone 2. Some of you zone 3, which is great because you know what we're focusing on in this program. We're focusing on sustaining that heart rate, getting that hypertrophy training, just making sure that we're lifting the weight, building strength as that heart rate is beating fast, and we're burning those calories, okay? So, take a deep breath, grab the weights. Final set of rows. Can you make them the best rows you've done today? Let's do it. Pull it up, bring it down. Now this is where your muscles are gonna be the most fatigued, especially for this exercise. So if you need to slow it down and maybe only give me 6 or 7 reps, I'm perfectly fine with that as long as those reps are quality reps. Don't just pump it out just to say you hit that target or to climb the leaderboard. Focus on building strength. If you're with me 7 seconds, 2 more reps. If you're with me 4 seconds, 1 more rep. Big squeeze in the glutes. Stand up tall. Drop those weights. Good job, team. Way to go. Breathe it out. First bead of perspiration is dropped, which is great because we are done with round 1. We are now going to go into our fun round. So here's what I want. Listen up, listen up, listen up. Because I like you and only you, you're only going to need 1 dumbbell. Listen, 1 dumbbell is all you're going to need here. So go ahead, set that 1 dumbbell up. At this point, if you're setting up 2 dumbbells, listen, Linda, you gotta listen, all right? You only need 1 dumbbell for the rest of class. And here's why. We're going with one of those jumbo supersets that I like to do. The sets that I like to use when I'm working out. So I'm gonna give them to you as well too. We're gonna keep rowing with this one, starting off with a split stance low row, okay? Now, this is a unilateral exercise, meaning you'll work one side of the body, then the other. I'm gonna start with my left hand. You feel free to start with whatever hand makes sense to you. But when we're in this split stance low row, whatever hand has the weight, the opposite leg is gonna be in front. Take that same leg back. 2 different positions. You can go hand on the quad or the knee, rowing it up. Or if you wanna get deeper, more range of motion, take it down to your forearm. Biggest thing, we're not starting an old school lawnmower, no twisting. Shoulders, chest, stay facing the ground. We'll do that right, then left, then we come up. Let's start to work the legs a little bit. Hold that weight in the center. It's a goblet squat, all right? Pull the hips back, drive the knees out over the toes, big squeeze as you push those feet down to the ground and come to standing. Final exercise is body weight. We get the core involved. We're going for a sprinter sit-up. I'm gonna show you tons of variations for that once we get there. But to get us started, hand that has the weight is closest to your screen. Take that same leg back, 30 seconds, let's row. So I'm looking for 10 of these rows. So I want you to think, hold it at the top for 1 second, feel the lat muscles, bring it down. Now these muscles should feel familiar to you. This is the muscle that we worked in that row, but I want you to remember that form. Don't give me this hunch. If you're giving me this like, I'm so coy and cute, take it back. You can still be coy and cute, but don't hunch that shoulder. Last one, and 10 seconds, switch hands, pivot, switch sides again. Whichever hand has that dumbbell, make sure that it's closest to your screen. Same number of reps, same form. Bring it up, take it down. And find your breath here. Our heart rate is gonna start to spike in this round. We're gonna go through all 4 of these exercises a few times over and over. So this is where pace comes into play. Beautiful. Finding that steady cadence. We got 5 seconds left. Put that last one in there and rest it up. All right, team. We hold that weight at our chest. I'm just looking for 8 rows here. You have an option to, if you want to, give me those 8 reps. If you want a little extra rest, drop the weight and rest. If not, find a steady pace. Let's squat. Thinking about that range of motion. So, especially when we're in a goblet squat, I like to hold onto the bottom of the plate. And I like to think about trying to bring my elbows to the top of my knee or just tap it on that quad. And again, I just need 8 reps. If you want, you can work the entire time, or give me 8 reps, rest a little bit early. Perfectly fine. We're all done right now. Take it down to your mat, eyes on me. In 10 seconds, here's how we start. Arms and legs are extended. Reach up, pull one knee into your chest. then go opposite. Ready? Let's go. So here is where I want you to push the pace. I want you to try and really push that heart rate. Now, if you need to modify this, listen up. Hands just go straight behind you, fingers are pointed towards you. I want you to lean back, just pull that knee into your chest. It's the same movement, we're just bracing, giving ourselves a little bit of support. Biggest thing, keep that chest open, keep that spine low. Final 3 seconds, can you give me 2 more? And, whew. 90 seconds of rest here. Here's where we get to start to track our progress when it comes to our cardiovascular endurance. Can you breathe? And wherever you ended at, especially for those of you wearing that heart rate monitor or that watch, maybe you were in zone 4, maybe some of you might have got to zone 5 or in zone 3. Can we bring our heart rate down to zone 2 by the end of this rest? So you have 60 seconds. So just breathe. Also feel free to take this time. You know we're gonna do this a few more times. If the weight felt super heavy, if you were struggling to pull that weight up with the rows, you were jerking yourself, take the time. It's only 1 dumbbell, or if the dumbbell was lighter, grab that second dumbbell. You can also, if you're only using 1 dumbbell, maybe set yourself up for success right here. Maybe give yourself 1 weight that you feel like, all right, this is I'm super jacked. This other one is my calm your horses. So get yourself 2 weights set up if you want to, but no new exercises are going to be introduced. You know everything else that we have for class. So breathe yourself, mentally prepare ourselves. How can we get better? How can we push ourselves? How can I stay engaged, all right? You got 5 seconds. We're gonna grab that weight. We're gonna get ourselves set up together. All right, team, here we go. Hand with the weight as closest to that tempo. We start with those rows. Let's go for it. Here we go, pull it up. So I'm gonna offer you the same thing here, especially for those of you that have a weight that is a little on the heavy side. If you want to, give me the 10 reps. Use the rest of that working time as extra rest. Hit those 10 reps, or you can just work the entire time. This is dealer's choice. You decide what works best for you. You be the captain of your ship. Final 2 seconds, finish that row out, and rest it out. All right, switch hands, switch sides. Remember, whatever you gave me on that opposite side, give me that same effort on this side. Get yourself set up. Here we go. And breathe. I talk about this a lot, especially in our HIIT classes. You ever been on a road trip and you notice that going there, it seems like it's taking longer because all the sites are new, you're experiencing things for the first time, but on the way back, because it's familiar, it doesn't seem like it takes as long. Heart rate is the same way when we're working out. Sometimes it's hard to get it to that zone 3 zone for the first time, but you'll notice you're probably already breathing heavy right here. Rest it up, rest it up. All right, team, so take those deep breaths. I tell you that story, I give you that information for you to know. Your heart's like, all right, it's smart. It's like, this is what's going on. Your brain said, hey, we're doing that thing again. So breathe. Use it to pace yourself. We got squats. Think about that range of motion. 8 reps, or you work the entire time. You decide. If you're someone who is using a heavy weight, if you're like, this is a challenging weight, I encourage you, just give me the 8 reps. Give me the 8 reps, and then chill out. Drop the weight, allow those muscles to get some recovery. That's my last one. Everybody drops their weight. We're taking it down to the ground. We're going for that sprinter sit-up. You know what it is. If you need that modification, hands behind you, lean it back, pull those knees in. I'm gonna give you a third modification, but first, let's start. Here we go. So you know everything. If you need to, if both of those modifications are a little tough, feel free. Go ahead, just give me a dead bug. It's gonna be great for the core, but it's also gonna help your lower back. Just keep everything engaged. Feel free to go for that dead bug if you need it. But if you can, push the tempo, keep that heart rate exactly where it's at, or take it higher. Final 2 seconds, give me that last one. Whew. And rest.
So believe.
Why are you watching me?
Breathe in. If you gotta close your eyes here. You know what the goal
I
is.
need you to zoom in.
How can we safely
Can you
and
come?
efficiently?
No, I don't. I want to dig here.
Oh.
Bring your heart rate back down.
11 minutes. What time? What time is it?
You got about a minute here. If you need to
3:56.
adjust anything, feel free to adjust. But
Just
what
do
we're
it
focusing
there.
on in this 90 seconds is our heart rate was at a zone 4, it was at a zone 3, maybe a zone 5. Everything in 60 seconds is working to come back to a zone 2. While you're in that stillness, we have 2 more times to go through this. I want to give you a story. The reason why I like to work this, and we talked a lot about the functionality of this type of exercise in this program, is I think to myself a lot of times, like I'm at that age where all my friends are having kids. People keep asking my husband, do you guys want to have kids? You want to adopt all these things? And I always think to myself as I get older, like, I want to be able to run or move or play with my kids. Even when I take my dog on a walk, I love that, like, I can run with him. But a lot of that, it's not about completely. A little bit, it's about being able to do the strength training, being able to have that basis. But a lot of it is about being able to move well. And cardiovascular endurance is a part of that. Like being able to like chase them around the couch or chase them around the yard and then be able to still sustain. So think about that as we're working through this. Maybe it's a goal for you. Keep it in mind. We start at the top, we're rowing. That breath control is key here. How can I keep this under control while my mind is keeping this, the weight, under control? Again, we've taught since class 1, our goal here is to be able to move better. So ask yourself, am I moving efficiently? How can I move better? Good, finish it up. Same thing, opposite side. You know what I'm gonna say. Same number of reps, same form. Whatever you gave me, give it to me on this side. Ready? Here we go. Breathe. Breathe. Stay with it. Keep that pace. Good job. We got about 10 seconds in again. If you gave it to me last time, you can do it again this time. You can just give me the 10 reps, especially if you feel like, you know what, my body, my form is starting to slack. Don't push for those extra reps. Just say, hey, I did my job. Good, good, good. We're going for those squats. Keeping it up at the top. I'm gonna go for the 8 reps here, but I'm also gonna go for that 100% range of motion, okay? Elbows, tapping the top of those knees. Ready? Let's get it. If you wanna work with me. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Think about that form. That's 4. Woo! Legs are starting to feel like cement. This weight is starting to feel like a cinder block, but we got 3 more together. Squeeze those glutes at the top. We got 2 more together. If you're working to just the 8 reps with me, this is our final one. You have the option to continue to work. Give me 1 more rep. And everybody rest. Put that weight down. We're going for those sprinter sit-ups. You know your modifications. If you need to, hands behind you. If you need it, give me the dead bug. Whatever it is, just push. Ready? Here we go. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna give you one more option. If you wanna go more advanced, feel free. Give me that nice little boat pose. Think about pulling both knees in. Biggest thing though, if you get to the top, don't give me this. Protect that lower back. Think long with the spine, okay? And feel free. You know, I'm gonna encourage you, try it once. If you decide, not my jam, get right back to this. 2 seconds. Oh, breathe. 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 Whew. Breathe it out, team. Breathe it out. You know what we're doing here. We got 90 seconds. How can we bring that heart rate back down? Taking those deep breaths. Deep breath in. Big exhale out. All right, friends, the time has come. Final time through this. Now, you stay breathing, but I'm going to demonstrate some ways now with the weight that we can make this a little bit more of a challenge, okay? Now, biggest thing, you're breathing, right? Your heart rate's coming down, thumbs up. I can't see you, but imagine that I can. Thumbs up, you're still breathing. Cool. You do not have to take any of these options. These are all options. I say this a lot. It's like extra credit on a test. I never did the extra credit. You're lucky I showed up for the test. So, and look at, I got here. So you don't have to take these. But if you want, let's start with that split stance low row. If you want to, Give me the row. Let's work a little bit of the glute, okay? Just give me a tap up. Notice when I tap up, it's a small movement. I'm not Swan Lake, okay? Just give me a little tap. It's gonna work the glute. So row, weight down, you can give me the glute. Option, you don't have to do it, but if you want to, let's end with a bang. Grab that weight, get in form, let's go. So again, if you want to, just get that little glute squeeze. It takes a lot of balance, but remember, that motion, it's small. It doesn't have to be huge. You're also gonna feel that in that front quad. If you're like Coach Clarence, you're crazy. Just give me the row. It's worked the last 3 times. Why wouldn't it work this time? But I wanna give you options. I wanna give you ways to challenge yourself, to move in a different way. So take it if you want it. Final row right here, rest. All right, team, switch hands. Here's the fun thing. If you took that little kick on this side, you gotta do it on this side as well too. If you didn't, you're fine. Let's row. So I did like 3 of them to make sure I don't wanna have a bigger left glute than right glute. I'll be walking around looking crazy. So I'll do 3, then I'll just get right into my row. If you took it on that opposite side, make sure you take it as well. But just keep rowing. These are your final rows of the class. The title is Together We Row, so together we finish. Final 3 seconds. And breathe, breathe, breathe. All right, team. Last weighted movement. We finally made it here. We're going for that goblet squat. Listen up if you want to. Let's go 3 seconds on the descent. Big squeeze up for 1. Working that time under tension. I'm thinking 3, 2, 1. Squeeze it up. 3, 2, 1. Big glute squeeze at the top. And again, this is optional. If you don't want it, if you're like Coach Clarence, leave me alone. Just give me the 8 reps. But if you're here with me, it's like the Matrix. We're dodging bullets on the way down. Then we come all the way up to the top. Good, last one right here. 3, 2, 1. Big squeeze. Drop the weight. You're done with the weight. All right, friends, make your way down to the mat. Final time. We're going for that sprinter sit-up. I'm gonna give you an option for a hollow hold in the final 10 seconds, so keep those ears open, but give it your best. Let's get it. Choose the variation that works for you. It can be double knees. It can be hands behind your back. It can be the dead bug, but I'm gonna give everyone the chance in 10 seconds. If you want, meet me in this boat pose. We just hold it in 5. If you want, optional 2, 1, 10 seconds. Can you hold it? If you want to keep sprinter sit-upping, you keep sprinter sit-upping, but we got 5 if you're holding it here. Think long. 3, think long. And feet come down. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And you know what you gotta do. Everyone's on their feet in 5. I know you're tired, but just do it. 4. Everyone together in 3, 2, 1. Wide stance with those feet. Hands by your side and with intention this time. Big deep breath in. Big exhale out. Clap it out for yourself. Team, way to go. Do yourself a favor. Bring yourself all the way back down again. We're going to cool it down. We're going to do this cool down on the ground. And here's how we're going to start. I want you to go ahead and place those hands behind you. I want you to reach that right foot up, cross it over the left, and land. We're just gonna twist. A lot of hinging today, a lot of rowing today, so that lower back might be tight. So that right foot is crossed over the left. Use that left hand to kind of push against the back of that right knee and just find that twist in the upper body, but even in the lower body, if you want to, you can take it a step further. Look over your right shoulder. Look behind you. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to the center. Just hug that right knee now and sit up as tall as you can. Still breathing, bringing that heart rate down. Shake it out. All right, we're gonna uncross. Lift that left leg up. Cross it over the right. Same thing. Pressing that right hand now against the back of that left knee. So it's right foot over the left leg. And if you want to, look over that left shoulder. Feeling that twist, not just in the upper back, but even in the lower back. I can feel this now. It's like a unscrewing of my spine almost. Feeling that tension for 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Hug that knee. Sit up nice and tall. Good. Where's that heart rate? How's that breath? Hopefully it's a little bit lighter, a little bit slower than it was about 2 minutes ago. Good. Let's take both of those knees. We're gonna go for a nice little butterfly stretch. So think about just gluing the bottoms of your feet together. I like to hold on to my toes and then just think about trying to press my knees down to the ground. Just feel those hip flexors open up. We didn't have too much legs today, but we did get those squats in there. And if you added those little kickbacks for the split stance low row, you felt it. All right, final little cool down move. And I'm gonna ask you to trust me. It's weird. Don't do this if you have guests over right now. They'll look at you like you're crazy. Crazier than you are for doing a workout when all your guests are over. But we're gonna go happy baby. Roll it back, grab the insides of your feet, trying to just pull them down, and just allow yourself to rock a little bit. Just feeling that spine, feeling that lower back. We're here for 3, for 2, for 1. Stay there if you love it. If not, feel free to roll out. But I gotta go, and I got 2 things for you as always. First one, don't forget to put those weights away. Second one, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. You crush this class, you're crushing this program. My name is Coach Clint. That's in Tempo. Sure, I'll be seeing you again soon. Bye, everybody.